It is an interesting thing to have a cancer survivor in the studio. We are anticipating to hear your story. So, going straight into the point.
Okay.
Tell us your story.
Okay.
At what point did you realize you're a cancer patient?
2019, I was diagnosed with adenocarcinoma polydifferentiated of the colon, and it was very low on my sigmoid junction. I've been defecating blood for like 6 to 7 months before I was advised to go do colonoscopy. So when we were in Sokoto, we did the colonoscopy. The doctor takes some biopsy, a tissue around there, and they checked. We flew to Abuja. Then they checked it, and it was cancer, and it was one of the devastating moments of our life. And then from there, we started looking for how we're going to go about it, because I didn't know. I have the knowledge that any blood or pus you see coming out of your body, then you should run to the hospital. It might be a sign of cancer. So that was how we run. We looked for visa. We went to India. They gave us radiation. From radiation, they did resection and anastomosis, because the cancer was very low on the stigmoid, on the anus side. So after that, they gave me an ileostomy. Ileostomy is a bypass of the ileum for me to defecate. So then we came back to Nigeria, and I started chemo in Sokoto. When I started first cycle, second cycle, the doctor back in India advised that we should reverse the ileostomy. So when we reversed the ileostomy, then I started developing, after 1 or 2 weeks, I started developing RVF. RVF means rectovaginal fistula. Instead of feces to go out the right way, it was coming through my vagina, which was a very dirty one. Then I kept looking for how they are going to repair the fistula. We started running from Gombe, Jos, we end up in Abuja. Then they started repair. From 6 years, within the 6 years, I've undergone 11 surgeries, thereabout. So I've gone through that, and now I'm here healthy. So when the repair didn't happen here completely in Nigeria, so when I kept going through the repairs, it was breaking due to chemo, radio, and all that. This one I'm living with right now is called colostomy. Colostomy is with the large intestine. It goes through the normal digestive system of any human being. So the only difference between me and you is my own comes out through my tummy, the intestine, but your own comes out through the right place, the anus. And right now I don't have an anus. So that's my story.
At this period, how are you able to manage finances?
It was not easy. It was not easy at all. We sell some of our assets. Our parents sold some of their assets to support us, and people too. Friends and families donate, let's say, like, even if it's 10,000 naira is something, because as we gather it, we have a little. But when we went to America, it was still not enough. But as God will have it, He makes a way, and we got a financial assistance waiver in the hospital. So we applied, and lo and behold, they waived $100,000, and we were able to pay $33,000. I don't dwell with people that will be pitying me. No. People that encourage me. And God has given me a strong will. I don't look sick. I don't pity myself. I am active. I don't dwell on the situation too much. I didn't know what was depression till when one day my husband explained what was depression. And I was going through depression and going in and out, I didn't even know. I didn't realize, seriously. But now I know what is depression. But I realized that I've gone through it 100 times or so.
So now let's come to the experts. So from what she has said, is it that even if this cancer was not realized at the first stage, is there still a chance of survival for someone that realized late that I am having cancer?
So basically, when it comes to treating cancer, time is of the essence. That is why cancer is being staged. Because according to the stage, that's how we plan the treatment. Someone that whose cancer was seen in the early stage 1 or 2, they might just go for surgery and that is it. But somebody that has stage 2, 3, 4, you understand, they have to go through surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy. It costs more suffering. You know, it's not easy, it's more difficult, more challenging, and then more complications. And basically, when when time goes by, cancer spreads. It doesn't stay in one place. So the early stage cancer is localized. The way she said, she was very lucky that her cancer was localized, because it would have been that it has spread to the spine and it will paralyze the person. And instead of treating the primary cancer, we would go and be trying to save the person's life by treating the spine. So that primary cancer would keep on, spreading. So when it comes to cancer, prevention is better than cure, and also cheaper than cure. Because if you're doing just surgery, let's say your surgery is 250,000 naira in a tertiary hospital, but then if they say you're doing chemo goes for around 5 million or even more. Radiotherapy, you're looking at 2 million or even more. So before you know it, you are spending 10, 15, 20 million naira to treat cancer. This is not something that an average citizen can afford. We all know. When cancer happens, it bankrupts a whole family. It doesn't just happen to the person. Everyone is involved. Financial toxicity, then the psychosocial effects. Not just she needed therapy, even the person taking care of her. That was one thing that we discussed at the last World Cancer Congress. Let's look at the people that are even taking care of cancer patients. They also need therapy, because it's not easy. Some things that the cancer patient will go through, they wouldn't even know. Maybe they were in a coma, maybe they had surgery, they were under anesthesia, but this one witnessed everything, and it's someone that they love. Cancer is not a death sentence once it is detected early. That's the thing. That is why instead of us dwelling on, okay, once cancer happens, let's treat, we are dwelling as an advocate. I dwell more on how do you prevent it. If you're a lady, I teach you how to do breast self-examination. You do it every month, so that if there is a breast lump, which may turn out to be breast cancer, you see it early, when it can just be removed, and then you're safe. When it advances, it will be beyond the breast. You'll find it in the brain. And that is what I could call it, that sentence, to be honest. So cancer just happens, to be honest. But we have predisposing factors, factors that can make a person at a higher chance of developing cancer. For example, when a mother had breast cancer, her children and her sisters are at risk. So they need to be very cautious when it comes to prevention. When a father has prostate cancer, his brothers and his male children should be more cautious when they grow up. Like for the men, from the age of 40, we encourage screening. For the women, once a girl that lost a mother to breast cancer should know what prevention and screening is, and breast self-examination from being a teenager. So you create a culture where she's very cautious, because it can happen. There are things we call oncogenes, which can be, and there is something we call BRCA1, BRCA2, those are genes in your body that can make someone at a higher chance of developing cancer. Like abroad now, they can test for those genes, and when you have it, that was what happens to some of the actors that you hear that they said they just removed their breast because they saw that they had that gene. They didn't even wait for it to happen.
Now that I'm back to my feet, I'm still looking for a job, actually, and but I do everything. I'm hardworking. Like, I'm not weak, or I'm not like handicapped, let me put it that way,
or disabled.
So, or disabled. So I do everything. I go out, I meet friends, but before, like 6 years ago, I don't do all this thing. I don't go out. I am always indoors watching telly or reading or doing something that keeps the mind going, so that I will not get depressed or something. And I take care of my children very well, and my family, my husband, and my parents too. Despite they are not where I am, they are far, but I do engage with everything. So this colon cancer has changed my life in many ways. Before, I don't talk about it, but now I'm passionate about talking about it. You understand? For people to know, for
creating
people
awareness.
Creating awareness, sensitizing people. Like I said, if I knew that if blood is coming out of any part of your body, you should run for your life and go to the hospital and check. It's a sign of cancer automatically.
Don't just assume. Whether through your ears, your nose, any part of your body is a sign of cancer. So I didn't mean I know. And this thing started 1 month, 2 months, up to 6 months. My sister, I could have run since. But thank God still that God really saved me. So it has given me hope for living. And it has given me the zeal, the passion to tell other people, I don't care about the stigma. You understand? Because there is stigma in cancer. Yeah. Especially our type of cancer. There is stigma out there. People are shy to come out because you're living with a bag. Yeah. You understand? I don't care.
There's nothing you can do that I cannot do. Yeah,
Okay.
I can do everything.
So just to add to what she just said,
Yeah.
from my experience of treating cancer and being an advocate, her story is the perfect story of, you know, a successful, you know, survivorship for cancer. Because, you know, you barely or hardly see a cancer patient that comes out without being disabled.
Okay, so I wanted without being disabled.
Yes. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. So 6 months that she waited, she was very lucky that it was still in the early stage.
Yes.
Oh.
Because
I was
if
on
it was
stage
if
3.
it was an aggressive cancer, she was on stage 3, you understand. But she was lucky it did not spread.
It's just a miracle.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your insightful conversation.
Okay.
I'm sure there are so many other people that are living in denial and are refusing to speak up because of the stigmatization. So with this, we'll just be rounding up. Thank you so much, listeners. My name is Zainab Ibrahim, and I remain your host on Fact Moment.